struggled with being me. I didn't like being me. I didn't know who I was. If I die this year, do I feel fulfilled? I needed more joy in my life.
Happiness is an inside job. It's not outside. If I just get this, then I'll be happy.
Which was the pattern that made me so unhappy.
Dr. Kasim Al-Mashat helps people transform stress and burnout to building clarity, calm, and resilient minds to elevate their lives.
There's so much possibilities in pausing, being met with such deep love, such deep compassion. That blew me away. And I was like, wow, I was still loved even though no one was around. Silence can be so nurturing and warm. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pause to Elevate with Dr. Kasim Al-Mashat. I am so excited about today's conversation because today I'm on the hot seat and I'm kind of feeling like a fish out of water. Like even prepping, I usually, research my guests and I think ahead of time and prepare. And this was just an idea from a dear mentor, colleague, friend, someone who's made a quite a drastic impact on my path, my learning, and someone I have such deep love and respect for, which is Bob Stahl. So, Bob, thank you so much for the idea. And I have to say, someone had mentioned something like that before, like, oh, why don't you be a guest on your own podcast? And I thought, nah, yeah. I don't. And then you mentioned it, and I thought, that's an interesting idea. Maybe I'm ready to do that now. So thank you so much for your willingness. And just for the listeners, we'll be exploring a couple different topics. Some of it, I don't know what will come up from today. But some of it will be about practice and the wisdom of silence. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much, Bob. I truly, I'm grateful to you.
Yeah,
so I hand over the mic, and I feel like I'm surrendering something. Like I'm like,
yeah. We'll first start with your credit card number and everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm so touched with who you are and your presence, your kindness, your journey in life, and as a psychologist and meditation teacher and creating podcasts to help. I mean, you are all about wanting to help bring healing to the humanity into this world. I mean, that's who you are. And so I thought that it would be very interesting that you've been interviewing so many people, having conversations about healing and different aspects of mindfulness practice. And I felt like it would be good to connect with you and ask you, like, what brought you to the work that you do? I mean, you are so completely dedicated to bringing healing to our world and to ourselves. So I'd love to just hear, I'm actually a very personal thing of, what brought you to practice and, that led you eventually to Burma and to do a long 6-month retreat. But even prior to that 6-month retreat, and of course, so many retreats that you've done after that. But I'd love to just hear from you, growing up in the Middle East and landing in British Columbia and your journey, like what brought you to practice? So that's my deepest question.
Thank you so much. And it's so interesting, even as you ask it, the first thing comes up for me, even before contemplating the question is, okay, friends, Bob was on the podcast a couple of years ago. Please listen to that one, his story. And like, it's so interesting. I'm turning back to wanting to point at your incredible journey. So if anyone missed that one, please check it out. We'll put the link from a couple of years ago. So what led me to practice? For the longest time, just this constant search that I had, that I felt like truly not happy. Always chasing something, and it was kind of getting exhausted. And that started earlier on for me, like even from high school. It was just like I really struggled in high school. We moved to North America. Actually, it was just around the first Persian Gulf War, and this is when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, and it was quite a mess. So, so at that time we were in the U.S. And everything felt upside down for me. Like
But
school.
you grew up in Iraq, so you were there on the front lines as far as that experience.
I was there, but also outside because my dad, and this actually I never, this is one of the things that I felt uh, a little like not sure if I want to share this, but this is actually part of my story. So I felt like, why am I not sharing this? My dad was a diplomat, and I don't think I share
Oh,
this with a lot of people, and so traveled a lot. So we used to go a couple of years out of the country and then go back and out of the country, and so ended up we lived in Europe, then back in Iraq, and then Europe, and then to the States. This was around where the Persian Gulf War again in the '90s, and everything felt upside down to me. Like because in school in Middle Eastern, like in Iraqi school, you go to one classroom and the teacher comes to you. And that for me when I came to like an American school and I'm like, wait, I have to walk to another class and then like that, even like little things like that was disorienting, right? And my language was terrible, and it's like I never knew about like, oh, this is what bullying is. Oh, okay, like oh, here's the camel eater and the tree, whatever palm tree hanging. The guy climbs a palm tree, like all these things. I'm like, oh, this is what it's like to be different, right? Here's what it's like to be different. And I wonder if that started for me. If like I just got to get out of here. I just got to get out of school, and then I just
so early on, you were being picked on because you were different, if you will.
exactly,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, and just kind of having to. It was confusing because people who I thought were friends, all of a sudden, when the war happened, with what Saddam did in the '90s, all of a sudden, like I became the enemy, and it's just like, oh, what? Um, like it's still me, guys. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just so this struggle.
mm, mm,
Um, and I guess as you asked me, I never thought about it this way, but and I didn't know it at the time. But what really brought me to practice is wanting to be comfortable in who I am, and I think I struggled with that all my life, and I struggled with
mm,
that even as a child, as I was struggled with weight and as an overweight kid, and I was made fun of, and even playing football or soccer, North American soccer, I couldn't do. I always had to take the goalie position because I couldn't run. Like I would be out of breath. So I never I struggled with being me,
mm,
and you know. I wonder if some listeners can connect with that. Like, just I struggled being me. I didn't like being me.
mhm.
I didn't like my
I can relate.
body. Yeah. It's time for a quick little update. A few months ago, 2.5% of you who are watching this content were subscribed to this channel. I'm so grateful to you. You helped us move it to 20%. However, if we do the math, that still leaves us 80% of you have not subscribed. Please help me change that. Go ahead and press that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the content. So this constant thing of wanting to be out of something. I don't want to be in this, but my body, I like remember like as a kid looking down at my belly and going, I hate you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember this vividly. I remember this vividly. And I think that started this thing of, could I overcome things? Could I come back from setbacks? I think that started for me like the Rocky movie in the '80s. That was my time, in the '80s, the Rocky movie, and getting knocked down, getting back up, and I started like exercising as a kid. No one was telling me that. I
But it's
started.
amazing that you got in touch with that because other people may have taken a very different road, but there was something like, what was that that brought you to
Mm,
choose that? That's really powerful what you're sharing.
mm. I guess what really drove it is even as you asked me, I never thought about it this way, but there's such power in watching someone, even if it was a movie like Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, and Bruce Lee movies I used to watch. Like they showed me it's possible that you get knocked down
Mm,
and you can get up,
mm,
and that, and I thought, okay, if they could do it, why can't I? Why
mm.
can't I?
Wow.
I want to get up. I want to manage my weight as an overweight kid, and um, why not?
And now you run half a marathons and you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, yeah. I keep wanting to challenge. Like last year, you're right. I did 12 half marathons. I was like, what if I could? Like, what if I could? Hmm.
And so then eventually, yeah, I appreciate the media representation with, um,
Hmm.
and then like something, yeah, like drawing you in to look inside,
Mhm.
meditation.
Yes. The first experience I actually had of turning in, which I liked, but I didn't understand, was as a teen doing martial arts. And I fell in love with taekwondo at the time. And it really saved me during my teens because all I would do is I go to school, it was high school, I finish, I go train, and the next day I, I go work, like school, work. It's either work, school, or train. And one of the things we did, we used to sit for a minute and just breathe before we begin the training. And that was profound for me. Like getting in touch with me, like actually turning to me, which was like, whoa, like blew my mind. Like, whoa. I didn't know what it was, but it was just like, oh, there's a me, like I can be with me. I can be with me.
Mm.
Mm. So that started my first few moments of being with me. And then actually someone at work, I used to work at in the mall, a teen, in a clothing store. And some of you who are locals to where I live, it used to be called, I think, Steel Cut or something. It was a men's clothing store. And, you know, uh, the manager there was into martial arts. And he said, you need to go read Zen and the martial arts.
Oh.
And I never knew what the heck is Zen. Like, what do you mean Zen? I think I was like 16 or something. And I loved the ideas, but I didn't understand. I'm like, empty your cup, beginner's mind. I'm like, what are they talking about? Hmm.
So you got into the martial arts and then this notion of um, with Zen and beginner's mind and what led to you took a deep dive going to Burma to spend 6 months and that probably wasn't though the first meditation retreat you did like this is that there was
Right.
something that was calling to you. Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so. So kind of fast forward with more life, and I think like everyone, some struggles, financial struggle, loss, grief, health problems, and I kept coming back to the practice. And break. I had to break down as well. Like I had to go on disability from work in
Mm.
the early 2000s, and took me right back to practice. And um, then I had a friend of mine who said, "Hey, there's this 10th day silent retreat. You may enjoy it." By that time, I think I've only done like 1 day or a 2 day max. And I thought, 10 days silence. Whoa. I took it more as a challenge. Like, this is like a good workout. I was like, okay, good. Look at it. Like, I want this in my bucket list. And I was actually so afraid. I was so afraid. What if something's going to come up in there?
Mm.
10 days. So that was the longest time I've my first longest retreat was that 10 day.
Yeah, what happened?
I actually one of the things I discovered is I really I wanted to get good at meditation, but I suffered. Like, my body was aching. The retreats I went to, there was no lying down option, so it was all sitting, and there's no walking. Actually, it's just sit. It was just all sitting, and I suffered. Like, my knee would be in pain, my back would be in pain, and it started to teach me that I can coexist with pain.
Mm.
That was new to me. Like, I don't have to hate it.
And that was the physical pain. Did the end of your apprehension about, things coming up that you didn't want to come up
Yeah.
emotionally, psychologically, but did that come up as well? But you found ways to be able to meet that as well as with the physical pain?
Surprisingly, I think the physical was so much, it overrided everything. So that first 10 day, it was like a slugfest, you know what I mean, for me. And but future retreats did bring up a lot of emotional things. Like, even when I went to Burma for about 6 months, I had periods of like just weeping in the middle of meditation. Like, memories would come up, things I've said to people that I've regretted, things that I wish would have been different, grieving. It surprised me, and it taught me I can be with these things that show up. Like, I can be with this. Yeah, that surprised me. The emotional things that came up. I wasn't trying to make it up. Sometimes people think like, oh, sometimes I had days with nothing, like bored out of my mind. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just touched here, just listening to your upbringing and living in many different places and working at a clothing store and then having but there's this thing of like you're like, who am I and
yeah.
who is this, and wanting to improve yourself, no doubt losing weight and that part, but then finding out there's much more here, and that led you to become a psychologist, that led you to want to a mindful space just relaxation teacher and teacher trainer, like it seems like some radical things have happened that you know you probably weren't thinking this is what you're going to do when you grow up,
Oh
and
no.
and
Oh no.
and maybe your family weren't thinking this is what you're going to be doing either, and you came from a diplomat and
Yeah.
and family and government and all types of things,
Yeah.
and yet like something like drove you to want to like not only healing yourself but like also serving the world in healing in deep ways. It's just really amazing to me, and I want to just hear more about that.
Oh, thank you. You're absolutely right. I did not think that would be the field I'll be in, and I was actually I had no idea what to study. So for me, it was way of elimination. I was like, I didn't want to be a doctor because that's the pressure. I was like, I have to be a medical doctor. Growing up, there's only like 2, 3 professions. You're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be an engineer. Otherwise,
That,
you're just haven't succeeded in life. Do you know what I mean?
so
Like
that's what you understood or
that was the
told.
pressure. It's like,
Oh.
and I was like, I like none of these I'm connecting to, and but I might as well just I got to go to school. So I picked, by way of elimination, like here's something that I don't dislike was business and then communication. So I had a business communication bachelor's degree, and
How did your parents and family go with that? If they were like, were they okay, or did they also?
they were kind of okay, but the hope was like, okay, he better finish this and like do his like MBA, right? Like at least do something with it. You know what I mean? Like, and then surprisingly, I did really well in sales, and I started getting awards, and I was like, "Whoa, this is the money was great," but I still didn't really know, as you said, I didn't know who I was. Something
Mm,
felt like if I die this year, do I feel fulfilled?
mm,
And it's like it began this like, okay, well, actually, no, there's something else I want, and I don't know what it is. And I started volunteering,
mm.
and I volunteered at a food bank, a local food bank, and I loved it on Saturdays. So I used to look forward to my Saturday more than my work week.
Well,
So I thought maybe I should go back to school. So then I applied, and of course, I got rejected because I didn't have psychology. So and then this, and then
that's what you were interested to do psychology.
yeah, I said, yeah, maybe I need to do this to be with people and
Hmm.
support change and transformation,
Mm.
and then I took courses in counseling and psychology, and then I applied for a master's degree again. And guess what? I got rejected again. I have all these letters, and then right back to the Rocky movie. I'm like, okay, how many times am I going to get knocked down? Like, okay. So it took me 3 years of applying, and then finally I got into my master's degree. And
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Such determination, even being knocked down, if you will, but coming back up because you were getting clear. This is what you want.
This is what I wanted. This is what I really wanted. And then I got lost again. I graduated. I worked in counseling. I worked with what in Canada we call the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, which is the police. So I did some counseling in one of their sections, and then within a year, I left my field. I was burned out,
Wow.
and I explored actually like every different type of meditation. I went to Peru. Like I spent all my money on learning from this teacher and this like whatever I could taste. I'm like, there's something still missing for me. So it was like a year
Wow.
of the year
Wow.
of
Wow.
um, discovery. Before then, I reapplied to do my PhD. Then I'm like,
And this was even after taking that 10-day retreat, but still just in that journey. What a,
yeah, that
yeah.
was actually before that.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah, you're
sorry.
right. Yeah, that was before that. I was still searching deeply. Like,
Yeah. So, all right. So after this year, what happened?
yeah,
Getting burnt out, and
yeah, I got totally burned out, and then I went. Um, I actually volunteered for a while in a company that does like motivational speaking, and I was like, I want to be with people, and I want like transformation, but it was very rah, and I was like, this is kind of missing the heart of change that I'm really wanting to
mm,
be part of, um, and I remember I was in their shipping and receiving section filling filling envelopes, and I'm like, okay, I got a master's degree. What the heck am I doing with my life here? And this was in the early 2000s. I was like, what am I like? My parents think like I've just wasted my life. Like, They weren't too excited about counseling. They're like, you're gonna be broke. What are you gonna do to go do counseling? Go get your MBA.
Mm-hmm.
So I really sat with it and decided to go back, finish the PhD, and I did research on trauma and impact of war on yeah, trauma and war. So that was my research interest.
And was that you realizing that was also within you
Yeah,
as your interest? Yeah.
yeah, and that came up in Burma too.
Mm-mm.
When I sat, all these things started bubbling up. Like, oh,
And was Burma after the psychologist, after you went to school, or was it before?
yes, that's right. It was after, yeah, after finishing the PhD, and then I started working and teaching, and started with teaching MBSR. I'm like, oh, I love MBSR, and I really want to deepen my practice of mindfulness based stress reduction,
Mhm.
which for me really lit up my brain. MBSR, like,
Mhm.
it made me connect meditation with life,
Mhm. Mhm.
and so I thought, ooh, I want to deepen. I want to deepen my practice if I'm gonna serve.
Mhm.
And of course, I picked the hardest thing I could, like go all the way to Burma and in a forest monastery, and it wasn't a joyride. It was hard.
Mhm.
It was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I having spent time in Burma myself in extended retreat, that the romance of that quickly fizzles out, and you're left with me, myself, and I, and your life. And so there you were, sitting in the midst of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many times I wanted to quit. So anyone considering doing a retreat, 1 day, 2 day, 5 day, whatever, these thoughts are likely going to come up. Like, can I do another minute?
Mm-mm.
Why the heck am I here? I had all of that. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to quickly thank you for stopping by and watching this content. It truly means the world to me that you're interested in creating positive change. I also want to invite you to join our amazing community. I have free events online about mindfulness, mindfulness based stress reduction, laughter, as well as retreats that you can do from the comfort of your own home. And are you ready for this? Self paced program that you can do about mindfulness and stress reduction. So you can join the newsletter below to stay up to date on all these goodies. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and press that button. It really helps me to keep this content going and reach out to more guests. Thank you so much again, and may you continue enjoying watching this episode.
The long and windy road that we all have, and that, getting your going into business, but then getting a master's in counseling, then going back to become a psychologist, being introduced to MBSR, then wanting to deepen it and go to Burma. And 6 months you were there. And
Yeah.
what were some of the learnings that just further deeply resonated with, this is what I'm, this is my, it was sometimes John Kabat-Zinn used the words, my karmic assignment. Like
Right.
somehow you were getting in touch with your karmic assignment of what I'm here for. So, and
Yeah.
it feels like you were in this journey till you became more clear of what you're here for.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for just kind of even how you're saying it's made me connect with. There's so many lessons, but one of the things that stands out for me is getting comfortable in deep silence. 6 months of silence. There's no phone. There's no cell phone, no TV, no radio, no talking. Um, s- that is one of the biggest things I learned. Is made me so comfortable and realizing silence can be so nurturing and warm.
Mm.
can be so nurturing and warm, because I think for many of us, if silence meant we're being punished, or someone gives us the cold shoulder, right? Have an argument, and I'm not gonna talk to you, right? There's a cold shoulder. It's a silence can, but for me, it was just, it made me realize I can be with me.
Mm. Mm.
And it held me. The silence held
Mm.
me, and
Yeah.
I still connect with it now. Like when there's silence, it's like,
Coming back home inside.
yeah,
Not a place of fearfulness, but
yes.
yeah.
How we even use your hand, of those who like listening to audio, you kind of pointing to the heart, to the
Yeah.
chest, to the heart. You just nailed how I felt. Like the silence now is a place where I can come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a place of aloneness.
Yeah.
And that was quite a perception change for me.
Mm. And so that sense of searching may not be there, but there's still the deep search within ourselves, meeting the rawness and so forth. And just to say that when I got introduced to the Dharma practice, I knew this was what I was going to follow for the rest of my life. But it wasn't that it was over. Then I realized there's a big journey ahead in this practice of mindfulness to heal, but that
Yeah.
at least the path was recognized, and the journey is the journey. And so, probably in some ways, can you relate to that yourself? And like you spoke a little bit about the rawness and like meeting what's there, but knowing that you have a practice that this is will lead to deeper understanding, to healing, and
Yeah.
thus serving others. Please. Sorry.
Yes. Yes. And as you named it earlier too, it's like the practice of compassion and kindness, and beginning to soften those edges in my own heart around myself,
Mm-hmm.
and around whatever grudges I held around people, growing up, war, like, oh, like, okay, I'm holding on to a lot of stuff here, and
Mm-hmm.
how can I soften some of these edges? um but it took me to the first retreat that I did with you as a participant, and it was, I can't remember if 2011 or 12. I think it was the first, what you call now insight inside of us. uh, I think it used to be called convergence.
That's right. That was at Spirit Rock and the Center for Mindfulness UMass co-sponsored many years ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's just another light bulb of being met, being seen, even though it was in silence, but being met. And we'd meet with the teachers, and you were one of the teachers I met with, and you check in, and something like being met with such deep love, such deep compassion, that blew me away. I was like, wow, I want more of this. I want, like, I want to, I want a buffet of this. Like, I just want to live suspended in this kindness, compassion. Like I almost don't want to go back to like life when, like, regular life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want to be suspended in this. Um, so I just wanted to thank you as well. I just kind of, I know things were bubbling up for me there, and including about like feeling trapped in my life and being premature. And so you said something to me that just, I think I've shared this with you before, but like transformed how I see my past. Like, about what if I was loved still, even as I was in the incubator? What if I was still loved even though no one was around?
Mm-hmm.
What if but the way, it wasn't a conceptual idea, it was, and that was the first time I really connected with meditation. Is not just about sitting and focusing attention, and It's about this deep awareness of who we are, how to be in the world. And you really you gifted me that, which I'll
Mm.
be forever grateful. And so I just wanted to say that, Bob, it really that really was profound for me.
There's a certain ripeness and openness from your own journey, your
Mm,
own learnings.
mm,
Yeah. And yeah, and this incredible shift from not knowing what to do, knowing, and I appreciate you saying the process of elimination, not this, not that, but then, but then like I feel like you've been in touch and living your karmic assignment of,
mm,
serving as a psychologist with people living with tremendous sufferings, and then
yeah.
teaching mindful space stress reduction, as well as teacher training, and then that other part of you, like you're laughing yoga, like when I think about that, I just start laughing, like you you have different aspects, and I'm curious even about like what brought you to do laughing yoga as well as serving with mindfulness, and how do these work together in your own karmic assignment?
Well, thank you so much for asking. As I'm speaking, like I'm making sense of things that I actually haven't made sense of this way. As you asked me this question, it's like it's so true. Just like so many different things, and I think that was part of discovering who I am. It's
Mm,
like everyone was trying to define me in one way. Like
mm,
you are this person of this background, or you have this job, you have this thing. And I felt there's so many expressions of who I am. And what if I gave myself permission to allow all of it? Like I love laughter, and so it led me to this physician who created laughter yoga. He's a physician from Mumbai, India, and I trained with him, and I started teaching that because I needed more. I needed more joy in my life,
mm.
and part of me was like, what are people going to think? Like, here's an academic just doing silly things. Do you know what I mean? Like laughing for no reason. Like that's kind of goofy. Do you know what I mean? Like and in a way, it's like, well, that's what brings me joy. So if it's not someone's
I
cup
love
of tea,
this.
that's okay.
And how has your wife been? She's been with you through all of this, and you've been, of course, with her with all of this, and you're
Yeah, yeah.
a team. So, like, wow.
Yeah. She still hears it. That and I teach it right now. I've been teaching it online. So when I'm doing it online on Zoom, she can the whole house is like she can hear it. The
Did
whole
she start
apartment.
giggling too?
Yeah. The whole home is like boom, boom, boom.
But it feels like you've got such unconditional. We talk about relationship, like being in an environment that's so. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of gratitude for your beloved wife because it feels like she's totally sees you and supports you to be who you are. And I trust it's vice versa. I haven't had the conversation with her about, I'm sure that you've offered that to her, but it's very
Yeah.
sacred.
Yeah. Thank you. That's really that for me is very important. Is just being who we are, and can we nurture each other, whether it's partner, whether it's friend, whether it's colleague. Can we support each other to rise to who we really are, not to who we should be,
Mhm.
or what it's supposed to. And I struggle with that. I was like, what are people gonna think? What are people gonna? It's like, well, people can think. If I'm not doing anything that's harming and it's actually supporting love and joy and healing, I'm in. I'm gonna do it.
Mm-mm.
So even the website's got someone to visit the website, like whoa, we got it's like meditate in silence, and then we do retreats, me and you. So it was like 5-day retreat, 7-day retreat, and then laughter yoga. Like I just want to say something. I want to thank you for if you helped me kind of verbalize something of the practice, which I hope this can support listeners. There's so many logical things why we practice, like that. It's evidence based. As a psychologist, I'm interested in that. Clinically speaking, here's
Mm-mm.
a laundry list of benefits. stress, working with anxiety, working with mood, working with pain. That's kind of, we know that. But something that I find most precious that I see in participants who do the MBSR program is actually coming home to who we are,
Mhm.
being
Mhm.
being like being comfortable in our own skin and not rejecting parts of
Mhm.
us.
Mhm.
That's yeah.
And it's echoing your journey, your longing, your yearning.
Mm,
Now you get to do what you love and be you.
yeah. Mm,
In the end, your parents, they're proud of you. They know who you are. I mean, I know your father's gone now, but just,
yeah.
like they see you, support you.
Yeah. Very much, very much. And they struggled with me going to Burma, I have to say. They're
Yeah.
like, do you really have to go that far? Do you really have to go? And it's like, where are you going? And like, what if we need to reach you? And
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
so I gave them the contact of a place, but like they had no idea what's going on with me. Like they had no idea if I'm just turning into a monk and never coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know if I'm gonna become a monk and never come back either. Actually, I didn't know. I just remembered something that is another lesson for me,
Mm.
which was, I thought I needed so much, and it's almost like a cartoon or a movie when I think of it. I went to that retreat with like two massive luggages of stuff. I mean, like,
What type of
and
stuff you bring? Like candy bars and
oh, literally, I had like protein bars, and I was like, oh my goodness, like I had so much stuff, and I needed my vitamins, I needed my this, I needed my that, and I realized, wow, I carry so much with me. Do I need all of this? And then even a month into it, I started running out of stuff. So I wrote a note. This is kind of embarrassing because we're allowed to kind of write notes to the monks and so they can email family if we need anything. So I wrote a note like, please send me more this bar, and please send, and my poor parents went and sent me a big box of stuff. A big box of stuff, and I needed like another bench because I was suffering from sitting. Send me a bench, and I'm actually the only one that I at least noticed in the whole time there, and people came and left, that had this massive box being delivered to them, and I'm like, wow, what what is that about? Like,
mm, mm,
and just
yeah.
realizing how much I got used to. I need stuff.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean, think about like for the monastics, their requisites is robes, a begging bowl. That's there's a few little things like a cup for water. Is not made like so they can leave just carrying a begging bowl and go off somewhere
Yeah,
into their homelessness. So it's so different. And and I being a former monk, but mostly a layperson,
yeah,
yeah, like we're thinking like all the stuff that we have and stuff that I bring on retreats, make sure that, like if I don't get enough protein, I'm gonna have my
yes,
soy jerky and
yeah, yeah,
that. And so we can, yeah, very humbling to how do I practice contentment in the midst of it all? To the fewness of wishes, the fewness of
mm,
these things become a weight to carry.
yeah,
Also we need, I can appreciate medicines and things we need to our
for
health,
sure, for sure.
but just that juxtaposition of seeing that in my relationship to my stuff.
Yes, exactly. And you're saying, can we find contentment? Like, can be at ease with? Can I be okay with how things are?
Yeah.
rather than I just need this thing, which was the pattern that made me so unhappy. That was one of my insights. Is like, if I just get this, if I get all my ducks in a row that way, if I just get these 5 protein bars, if I get this, that, then I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, this
Right.
is
Like,
good.
I just needed, which was how I was leading my life. If I just need this,
Yeah.
if I make this much in my sales job at the time, and if I do this much, and then I'll be happy. I just got to get more of this, then I'll be happy.
Mm.
And it was actually, one of the big insight I had as well is um, during periods of walking meditation. So we're supposed to stay near the meditation hall, and a couple of months into it, I started to kind of like lose my mind out of boredom, which kind of missed the point. I didn't want to be in boredom anymore.
Yeah.
So I started walking further away into the forest to do my walking meditation. And then I got busted. One of the monks saw me. And he gave me one of the best lessons. He came to me, walked slowly towards me, and I was like, oh, shoot. He said, your happiness is not a location.
Wow.
And just left. And that's what's it. That's all he said. Came to me, whispered my ear, your happiness is not in the location.
Mm.
Like that just kind of undid me. Just like, wow, I couldn't see it. I was still searching for the perfect ideal situation where I could walk, where I could, then things will be okay. But what if I could be
Yeah.
okay with however it is? This is just how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, because sometimes I love in our Western world, Descartes plants down the states stake, saying, "I think, therefore I am." But actually, from what you're describing, and also looking at my own ways, it's not "I think, therefore I am." It's "I cling, therefore I am." And like that sense of the clinging, like if I get this and if I get that, then I'm going to be happy. And
Yeah.
and then wow, what a powerful teaching! It's so few words. This location is not happiness, or happiness is not this location.
Yes.
Right. So like, so in that moment, like you feel that this it makes sense to you, or there's something that sat with you, and like then this kind of release of trying to get something,
Yes.
then I'll be happy.
Yes. Even in the middle of a retreat with 6 months, I was still searching for something that will make me happy there. And I got caught in my own pattern again. Actually, I used to fantasize for like months within that 6 months. What if I leave here and go to a different retreat location? Maybe that's better.
Yeah,
Maybe I go to like Thich Nhat Hanh. I know that they sing and they seems like they have fun. And why am I in this harsh?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and it was very
beautiful.
hard. It's with Sadhu Upandita at the time.
Yeah,
He was there for 2 out of the 6 months. It was like very, very like it was very stern, harsh, and always wanting a way out of what is.
yeah. So something happened that you
Yeah.
came into what is. And was there some grace in that or some mercy? Some
Mm,
what was there? Like that's a huge like this recognition I've been keep on wanting, wanting, clinging, wanting, but then here.
mm,
I'd be interested to hear if I mean you're talking about it. Anything more you want to like this
yeah.
unraveling? Like maybe I don't need to go to thick down. Like I could be here. Could I actually
Yeah.
lift this foot up when I'm lifting it and moving it and placing it here? Please share more.
He I actually finally got the simplest insight that was right in front of me that I couldn't see, which is all I have to do is just to be in this moment. Can I be in this one?
Yeah.
just can I be in this one, not project how am I going to survive another day, another week, what's going to happen when I come back home. Just be in this one. Can I be in this moment with whatever it has, whoever's in it? There's happiness, there's sorrow, there's just this one, and then there's just this one. I just have to be in just this one. And if I
Mm,
link enough of those, there's such ease. And I experience middle of pretty bad pain, physical, emotional, a sense of freedom I'd never experienced. Middle of it, middle of pain. Like, wow, I can just be in this one.
wow.
Mm.
So this notion of if I just get this, I'll be happy. That kind of, I mean, no doubt it's human of us to
Sure.
occasionally go there with it, but there was also some fundamental feel like some insight, some understanding inside you of how much that I'm looking somewhere else for this and somehow arriving into here, whether I like it or not, because it will be
Yeah.
moments that it won't, I may not like it, but can I just be here with not liking and not
Yeah.
fighting it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Even as you say it, like that was, I resisted reality there for so much. Why is it so hot? Why is there so many power outages? We're like drenched in heat, like periods needing to meditate in mosquito nets because the mosquitoes were eating me up. Hungry most of the day. Some days, because it's by donation, that center. So some days we had some good breakfast and lunch, which is the last meal, served at 10:30 in the morning. Um, and some days it's like very little, and I'd be like, ah, why can't they give us better food? I don't know, like, and then just, I mean, it's like just appreciating what's there rather
Hmm.
than hunting for what I think would make me happy.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, it was so
Mm.
beautiful. We could get to this place, and that impact of that has stayed with you. I mean, no doubt as humans, no doubt we might want this and want
Sure.
that, but there's some sense of knowing that happiness is an inside job. It's not outside. If I just get this, then I'll
Yeah.
be happy. Like that, feel like that shifted. That understanding
Yeah.
penetrated deeply,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so yeah, this is really. It's not
Mm.
about this getting. It's
Yeah.
about this. Yeah.
Yeah. And even I think what it shifted as well as you're saying was even in the getting, I'm not basing the happiness as when I get it, I'll be happy. Like I enjoy pursuing things. Like I love goal setting. I love still love stuff. You know, like I'm excited. Like I'm getting back to some swimming. I'm like I think I need some goggles. What if I went searching for goggles? I'm like, ooh, there's some good goggles out there. I'm like, what's the best goggle? So it's still like it's like this is a human, and but it's like how long is a goggle gonna make me happy?
Yeah.
Even if I get the best rated goggle with the best fog, whatever. I mean, and then what? Like enjoy it, but
And then what? That's right. And then what? And then what?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, and I appreciate the humanness, but there's also the knowing it can only give so much.
yeah,
As far as the the yearning for happiness, it's
yeah,
inside job.
yeah,
What a wow, this is such an arrival back into our
mm,
heart.
yeah.
Mm.
Mm,
I so appreciate our conversation because no doubt it's really, important and wonderful to hear your history,
mm,
but how it all brought you into that moment.
mm,
All of a sudden, clear seeing, just beautiful, and that contentment is here
mhm.
when I become free of this wanting or this not wanting. Yeah, there might be not
Yeah,
wanting, they might be wanting, but I'm not as held on to it as I once have. Like
yeah.
this, like somehow the this is itness is arriving.
Mm. And even catching it when I get caught up in it. And actually, the hard part for me, and I'm still working on this part as well, is when I see others that I care for that are caught in it, family, loved ones, and it's like I can see it, and that I'm still working on. It's hard. That part is still hard for me.
Yeah, how to, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, because
yeah,
it's not gonna give someone a lecture on like you don't really need all of it. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like ah,
yeah,
I see that that suffering that comes from chasing stuff and never never be yeah, that one I'm still working on.
yeah,
Yeah. How even you're asking me how this conversation is flowing is getting me even more and more and more not only appreciative but excited about the possibility that this conversation we're having may lead someone. So hopefully, whoever is listening, if you're on a path of self-discovery, if you're interested in getting to know you a little more, there's so much possibilities in pausing. Pausing has possibilities. So whatever they explore mindfulness, mindfulness-based stress reduction, wherever they take it, obviously I'd love to share it with them. But wherever it is, or retreats,
yeah,
what a gift that someone can give themselves to spend some days in silence. And we do it, me and you, online
yeah.
as well. Actually, can you? I was wondering, I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they asked me, like, online retreat? You teach online? Like, doesn't that defeat the purpose? Shouldn't people go somewhere to do a retreat? And I'm like, well, that's what I thought too, until COVID. Right. And then so I wonder, um, my whole perception of retreats has shifted in the last couple of years,
Yeah,
including
mine too.
yeah. So what is it for you that has shifted? Because just for people who like maybe go like, well, why do a retreat and why online?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm happy to share. Do you want to say more first about what, like, yeah, like on COVID, like I would have never imagined doing such a thing until COVID, and yeah, I've profoundly changed. But since I'm interviewing you, I'd love to hear
Yeah,
you, and I'm happy, of course, to share a bit. I definitely, because I have a lot of
for
passion
sure.
about online teaching as well now.
Yes.
I'm surprised to say, but please let me hear from what have you noticed?
Yeah. The first one I actually did was with you, which was assisting, and that was in 2020. So that's 6 years from the state of where we are now. Um, and I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like being on Zoom, and it was really profound. Like it slowed down, even though I was assisting. And I was going. There's some thinking, and but in and out of a practice the whole time, and I was like, oh. It kind of brought the retreat to my home. I could slow down in my own space, which was kind of different rather than going somewhere and then I slow down. Like, slow down where I am. Not watch TV in my own space. Like that was like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, not reach to the phone. Like at times, besides communicating between us, like, don't need to look at social media. Whoa. So that was really nice, actually.
Yeah, and I just also say that yeah, during the pandemic, of course, we didn't have any choice. We couldn't meet in
Yeah.
person. And so, my whole set idea was like that's the only way you could do a retreat. But then since we couldn't be in person, and it did, if you'd asked me 7 or 8 years ago about teaching online, I would say that might be for some people, but I will never do that. And I've eat my words 1,000 times. And because of the pandemic, began offering retreats, and some said, well, you can only do like a couple hours rather than 12 hours at a stretch, alternating sitting and walking. But everyone has, this is all new territory for everyone. But we experimented with no the accountability of being together in person, online. You can turn your head and look another direction, but
Yes.
it's worked out extraordinarily well, and um, actually, in a few ways, I think are very important. And one
Mm.
is that some people even due to their life circumstances, they might be caring for someone, they might have an illness, they may be geographically very far away, may not have the money to be able to travel to a place, that having the alternative of having it at their home makes it viable. There's certain
Yeah.
people that there's no way they have access to being able to do it in person.
Yeah.
And also the sense of saving a little bit of the fuel that's used to transport. So there's an environmental piece, even though we are using electricity, there is Zoom, so I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
Um, but also, one thing that was very surprising and very important is that many people, when they take a residential retreat, which is wonderful, I still recommend it, of
Yeah.
course, but people wonder at the end of the retreat, how am I going to integrate this into my life? And so, doing a home retreat, that question comes up less. Yes, there is going to be a change between the home retreat and going back to work, but you're already at home mindfully cutting carrots. You've already established a place where you're meditating and you walk by it, and if you listen closely, it'll call you to come back to sit. Like somehow doing a retreat in your home sets up the conditions for integrating the practice into your real life. Because sometimes we'll say, if the walking meditation is not possible, like does your floor need to be swept? Can you sleep that mindfully? Do you need to fold the laundry? Do you need to prepare your food? Do you need to outside weeding in the garden? So we can actually bring the activities of day-to-day living, which is actually found in the first foundation of mindfulness of the body, is bring your mindfulness into different activities. So we have a chance in online retreats to integrate that more and more. So I find this to be very powerful to do an online retreat for integration, but also that accessibility. Some people, there's no way you can go on a
Yeah.
retreat.
Yeah.
So it's providing more access, which all the better for me, all the
Yeah.
better for all of us, I should say. Those are my
Yeah.
few senses of that. Yeah.
It's so true. It makes it more available, and there's integration, and there's something that surprised me as well, and you embody that, Bob, but it's like the heart is still felt online.
That's right.
Kindness, compassion, and people's experiences. Like at the
Yeah.
end of each retreat, I know that we've done. Like I'm just like puddles of like deep gratitude and heart melting, hearing people's shares and insights, and
Yeah.
like it things happen. And
And
surprise, it's not just sitting in silence, like it's like things that
yeah.
come up, and we meet people as well, right? Like to
Yeah.
check in on them. Yeah.
We enter into the silence to begin to make peace, to understand ourselves, and also that sense of an online retreat. It might have been the last retreat with you. We had a number of people from different countries, so we're
Yeah.
bringing in the whole world community. Like all of us are in
Yeah.
this together,
Yeah.
so that the boundaries begin to dissolve. We're all human beings, no matter where we are in the world, and so it's wonderful with a global community that can come in when we do an online retreat. We have to adjust to the time zones, no doubt,
Yeah.
but it's wonderful in that way.
Yeah. 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 The possibility it offers, and so grateful to be doing this with you. I really am, and deeply, deeply, deeply grateful.
Yeah.
It's I actually kind of, I have to say, I kind of pinch myself every time we do this, because you know what I mean? Like for me, as I mentioned earlier, first retreat I did with you, like, it's like, oh, Bob Stahl's like, here's all the books, here's all the things he's done. He's like profound work for decades. And I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have a chance to be with Bob Stahl. And then I, I I meet you, and it's like this moving, loving, pulsating heart of compassion. That's eh, you role model for me, like what's possible of like being such a loving human being. And I was like, wow, this is wow.
Mm.
Humbleness and deep wisdom. Okay, okay. I'm gonna drink that all in. Okay. Humbleness and deep wisdom. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you. I truly, truly want to thank you. And I've shared this with you outside recording as well. But what everything you've done in supporting me, in supporting so many people to find
Mhm.
this deep space of compassion, healing, kindness within them, and seeing beyond like people's backgrounds and beliefs. It's like we're all humans. Yeah.
Well, thank you, dear Kasim, and it's a lot to hear the accolades because I was just human as well, of course. But I appreciate your. I can feel your deep
Mm.
love, care, and we're all passing on with each other to grow with greater humility and greater wisdom, and so we're brothers in that sense because we
Yeah.
bring it out in each other. And may it be passed on for this world that is hungering so deeply for love and respect and care and the reverence of all of life and this world, this planet.
Yeah.
Whatever we can to the last breath, may it bring deeper healing and peace.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Yeah. Uh, yeah. More love, peace, connection. Yeah.
And I thank you that I get the chance today to interview the
Yeah.
interviewer. And I have so treasured this time and in in your story, and I know it's just the tip of the iceberg as well. There's lots more, so maybe another time we can hear more about it. But particularly in that time,
Mm.
just in Burma where you've got this is
Yeah.
it, and I need to be getting more stuff, but and to enjoy the stuff, but there was such a beautiful teaching that was really transmitted here. So I'm
Yeah.
grateful we could land there, and also just your journey of being picked on and growing up in different countries and in the Middle East, and people who you thought your friends were not your friends, and
Yeah.
like the experiencing of prejudice and pain, and not saying you hate your belly. Now, I hope that you may
Mm.
love your belly now, and no matter what size it is.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so I know you're an athlete, and I'm waiting to hear you say maybe you did your first marathon. Who knows?
Yes.
But to love again the stranger who is yourself, and so it's beautiful just in
Mm.
your own healing journey.
Mm.
That's we're still we're all embarked upon our healing journeys.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you for this sharing so deeply your heart and your life. It's very vulnerable. Sometimes I feel like we interviews, it's almost like we have all our clothes off. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
vulnerable. It's very naked. And so, but then it brings the realness. Then the realness is like what we're all hoping for.
Yeah.
We want to be real. So thank you for your
Yeah.
realness.
Thank you so much for just guiding, for sharing this conversation, for just allowing me. I was sharing with you like I have so much love and respect for you, and I felt like if I'm gonna turn the mic here, like who else am I gonna turn to? Bob. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate you, and also want to thank all the listeners for just taking time, and I hope you found this useful. And if you did, I'm gonna do my podcast guy stuff. Of if you found this useful, please share. Send it to neighbor, family, friend. Um, support us in supporting this mission of bringing more kindness, compassion to the world. Even if a word or something from this podcast leads to some positive change, that'll bring a smile to I know my heart, I know yours too. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
and until the next one. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this content, check out what's coming up next right over here. Thank you.